Thank you. Hey, Grant.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. Um, just kind of the way the offensive line's played, at least in the run game, the last couple weeks. What's been the key there? I mean, you guys have basically stayed with five guys. Does that help with continuity?
Yeah, a little bit. I think the biggest thing is just, all five of those guys being on the same page and playing together, really. That's the big thing, especially offensive line. Everyone's got to know what they're doing, and everyone's got to be on the same page so we can execute those plays. So, yeah, a little bit of continuity there, and it's been helpful. And I'm excited to see what this group can do. Just keep pushing the ball and keep running the ball and see what we can do in that aspect of the game, and then, sling it when we can.
I mean, are you a little surprised that the same five have done it, not from a playing standpoint, but just being able to hold up as well as you guys have the last couple of games?
No, not really surprised. I mean, most of the time I've been here, it's been consistently five guys or maybe five or six guys. So I'm used to playing with just five guys. It was actually surprising to see we were able to rotate in so many guys. But, we got five good guys out there, and we actually got some really good guys right behind them. So I'm excited to see what we can continue doing.
Just, Greg Long came in as a transfer, and it appears just from an unintelligent eye of a guy that watches the offensive line, but just how has he performed? And he seems like he's held up pretty well so far.
Oh, yeah, man. He's a total asset out there. He's a guy who, he's locked in. He knows what to do, and he does it with a physical attitude, man. So we're very blessed to have him, and I feel like he's only going to get better from this point on, man. I'm excited to see, where Greg can take his game if he, really commits.
You got senior day on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Now, if you get the opportunity to come back, are you going to come back? Has that decision been made, or how is that kind of playing through your mind right now?
Yeah, that's a decision I'll probably make closer to the last game of the year. So no decision's been made yet, but we'll see what happens close to the last game of the year.
What are some of the factors that you have to consider if you do want to come back next year?
Oh, yeah. Really it's just finishing this year out strong and staying healthy, and then we'll see, what the Lord's got in the cards for me, I can't pretend to know everything or what's going to happen in the future. So I'm just going to play it out the way I have it right now, and then we'll see where things go.
If Saturday does end up being your last home game, what are some of the things that you will remember from playing in Ross-Ade Stadium?
So many things, man. Just memories with Tyler Trent, memories with all the guys that I know played, sweat and played on the field and bled on the field with, and definitely all kinds of games, particularly Ohio State, of course. Just so many memories on that field, man. Ross-Ade has been a very special place for me, and will probably be for the rest of my life.
So in 10, 20 years, when you tell your kids about you played football during a pandemic, what will you tell them?
I'll tell them that I have a crazy story for them. And actually, my daughter was born this year, so I'll be able to tell her about the year she was born and about the crazy pandemic we had all across the world, man. So it'll definitely be an interesting story to tell my child and future children.
You feel like you've had a good year? I mean, when you look at what you've done just personally and in conjunction with the rest of the line?
Yeah, I feel like I've had a pretty good year. There's always room for improvement. I feel like as the year goes on, I get better and better. But yeah, I feel like I've had a decent year, and I feel like I have to keep getting better just for the sake of the guys next to me. And as an offensive line, we collectively have to keep getting better.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah, Grant, you've been playing next to Spencer. How's he doing?
He's awesome, man. He's a guy you don't have to tell him really anything, and he knows the call, he knows where to go, and he does his job pretty solid almost all the time, man. So it's a total blessing to have him next to me.
Sort of seems like Spencer, Gus Hartwig, and then when he gets back, Cam Craig is going to form a real nice nucleus for this line moving forward. Just talk about those. I get that trio collectively.
Yeah, those are a lot of big names right there, man. I'm excited for all those guys' futures because they're the future of this offensive line, and it's a pretty exciting future for those guys, man. The sky's the limit if those guys learn how to play together and learn how to communicate and just grow as a group. But Cam Craig, he's a guy who's going to come back, and he can play guard, he can play tackle. So, he's really going to be able to fill the spots and fill all five positions out there.
You told Mike you were having a good year, Grant. Do you think this is your best year yet at Purdue?
I think probably last year was my best year so far, but this year's not over yet. So I still have a couple more games to try to go out and, I'm always trying to play a perfect game, and that's never happened so far. But I'm pretty hard critic on myself. So I'd say this year's not finished yet. So we'll see if this is my best year yet.
You're coming all the way from New Mexico, Grant. I mean, 2016, right? I mean, could you have imagined playing as much as you have and had the type of career you've enjoyed?
Actually, no, man. I mean, I came here so I'd have a chance to play early, but just the fact that I've been able to play so much and really learn so much about football in general has been amazing, man. I would have never thought that, I'd be a leader and a captain on this team and just a leader in my room, man. So I'm very blessed to serve these guys and have an opportunity to play next to some of these great guys.
Your last question, Grant, do you feel like this has been a long season?
What would I say has been a long season? That's the question.
Yeah, do you think it's been a long season? You feel like it's dragging on? I mean, is it hard to stay focused too amid the pandemic? Never knowing maybe week to week if the game is going to get played or not?
No, not really, because we play one game seasons. So, we line up and we play that game the week of, and, that's the only game that we're thinking of. I can't really think of the game after that, right? Like, I'm just thinking of that game. So, it's just like it's been every other season. We line up and play a one game season. So I feel like it's actually going by pretty quick, if I'm being honest, just being a senior and all.
Thank you, Grant.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, Emily?
Hey, Grant. So now y'all are on the downhill slope halfway through the season. So what have the biggest lessons you've learned so far from this season, playing with this offensive line, specifically playing with Aiden and Jack? And what will be your focuses moving forward, especially this week against Nebraska?
I would say the biggest things I've learned, just from a team standpoint, is that you got to fight through adversity and you got to make adjustments and you got to go out there and just line up every play and give all that effort. That's the only way to play the game. And as a unit, as an offensive line, I would say the biggest thing is playing together. I mean, if you have one or two guys that aren't on the same page as everyone else, plays aren't going to work. Simple as that. So you have to have five guys that know what's going on and can execute the plays that Coach Braum calls. So that's the biggest thing that I've learned from there. As for Nebraska, this is a good unit. They have a lot of guys that are returning. They have a lot of football experience out there, and they're physical and they're hungry. So we got to line up and play some Big Ten football this week. And we've had a great day of practice today, and we got to keep it going.
That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, Dakota, I know you jumped on late. Do you have anything for Grant?
I'm good, Matt. Thank you.
Okay, I know Hunter is recording this, so he'll be able to send you Coach Wallace if you want that as well.
Yeah, we'd love that. Thank you.